It is April the 17th, 2021. I'm Andy, and this is the Minorcan Mullet Report from the Golden Ray Wreck site in St. Simons Sound. And they're getting close. We're out a couple times today. I'm going to have a couple videos up. As the regular report here, we're going to try to show you what we saw today. First of all, what we noticed was the WILDCAT block was back into play. Here on the offshore side, on the left side of the VB 10,000, is that block that we have seen before, and it is in play, controlling the angle of the chain, and we can kind of see the angle going back down into the ship, and we've got a still shot or two coming up in here where you'll actually be able to see the chain again through the hull of the ship. But more importantly than that is the west side or inshore side block is really starting to move up the hull of the ship. And one thing that we noticed was, if you guys remember, they came in with torches and they torched out the projected chain path and made some pretty good cuts along the hull to remove that material. Well, we're seeing now that the chain has made it past that, and you can actually see right here where it's past the places where they cut, and now it's back ripping and tearing through that hull material. And you can see what kind of progress they're making, and this was pretty quickly done while we're out there today. So we expect that possibly as soon as tomorrow, we'll see this section of the ship separated by the cutting chain. Making great progress. And here again, we see the WILDCAT block in action. And the video that we put out earlier, you can really see this thing jumping and moving around while they were cutting on the ship. It is progressing rapidly now. It's obvious that they have made it through whatever structure was in the hull, in that engine area, the foundation, if you will, that supports the engine. And now they are, it looks like just going through it like butter. They're making some pretty good progress. Out on the site, their environmental boats are still there. They're doing their thing, monitoring the water. We haven't seen any major releases. We hope that continues as they finish up with this cut and continue kind of cutting into that side. We're not sure where that fuel trunk line, if they've already cut it or if it's still to be cut. That's been a big concern. But even on these shots, you can see how far up that cut is advanced. We're going to get you a shot in here a little closer, and you can actually see that slice going right up the hull of the Golden Ray, just right between the arches there on the VB 10,000. And here we can look into the decks, and if you look closely, you can make out that cutting chain. It's in there, kind of tucked away. We're not going to highlight it today. We're going to make you look for it. But promise you, if you look, you'll see it there. And also today we had a visitor that showed up. This is the Ocean Reach vessel. Some of you may be familiar with this ship. This is the one that goes out and tags the big sharks, and it's been featured on some television shows. It has the deck that they put over, and they pull the sharks up on it and raise the deck so they can get out, take their scientific measurements, and record all that data and put on the satellite trackers. They've got a website out where you can get in there and support the operation, and then also track some of the sharks that they've tagged. Pretty neat operation, and good to see that these guys are out and they're collecting this data for the future of these high apex predator fish of the world's oceans, and it's commendable. Good to see those guys. They poured over in Brunswick, and they were coming back, I guess, from one of their campaigns and passed by the Golden Ray and the VB 10,000 today. And this is kind of a neat shot for you guys here. Old Peter Pelican on his way in, and he's coming in. He's spotted something, and down he goes, and we got some pretty good shots of him taking the dive and chasing some lunch today. Well, that's about all we're going to have for today's report. We know you're watching it. We appreciate you guys watching it. But if you haven't clicked that subscribe button, hey, we're waiving all the fees. Just click on it. It's not going to cost you anything. Click on the subscribe button. Send us some comments. And most of all, we want you guys to stay safe out there.